Most people are expecting the worst thing to happen to them. They're bracing themselves for whatever it is around the corner that's going to go wrong, because in survival, if you prepare for the worst, you're going to survive.
Talk about your immune system because I want you to understand how powerful it really is. Our immune system is kind of like our rudimentary nervous system. It has cells that are mobile, and they're called plasma cells or white blood cells. And their job is an internal defense. In many of our body's plasma cells line the mucous membranes, gut, digestive tract, all the orifices of the body, the nose, the mouth, ears. And it's a line of defense against foreign invaders and toxins. And when the immune system is facing some foreign invader, whether it be a virus, a bacteria, a mold, a fungus, some foreign agent, it is the army of plasma cells that move towards the danger and begin to attack these foreign agents. And there are cells in your immune system called T cells. And T cells are like the ninjas of the immune system. And they release very powerful chemicals that can denature and break down any foreign invader. And T cells have these little trumpets that stick out on their receptor site. So picture this big circular spherical blob. And you have all these different receptors. And these T cell receptors are these long trumpet appendages. And when they come up to a virus, or they come up to a bacteria, when they come up to even a cancer cell, they notice that it's a foreign agent, and immediately this T cell receptor attacks unhealthy chemicals that begin to cause that foreign agent to die, and then memorizes that foreign agent and passes the information on to the army of the rest of the white blood cells in the body. And this is a strong immune system. And when plasma cells and white blood cells begin to function well, they release chemicals called immunoglobulins. And immunoglobulins are proteins that are in the shape of a Y. And those Y-shaped proteins are antibodies. And what they do is when white blood cell releases an antibody, it begins an agent that's trying to attack the white blood cells. So when a healthy immunoglobulin is released, it suppresses the warfare, the cell receptors that are trying to attack the white blood cell. And now you have a strong defense, you have a strong immune system. And your body right now is doing that. In fact, your body is always evaluating all those foreign agents, whether it's a virus, a bacteria, or even a cancer cell. And it's working to keep the body in balance. And the immune system, a strong, healthy immune system, does that constantly, always behind the scenes of your awareness.
If you can teach a person to truly practice gratitude, there'll be significant changes in the way their heart thumps, the way it beats, and what it starts to do to the brain. We've studied this thousands of times. So when you start feeling grateful, your heart starts beating in a rhythm that begins safe to create. It's believing in that moment that it's safe to be out of survival. And practice that enough times, the body starts to regenerate. So we saw changes in immune regulation. We saw changes in gene expression. Why? Because the body's believing it's living in an environment where the person's dreams have already happened. Now, we only accept, believe, and surrender to thoughts that are equal to our emotional state. We never accept, believe, and surrender to thoughts that are not equal to our emotional state. And this is why affirmations don't work. You could say, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm free, and your body's going, no, you're not, you're miserable. So the thought never makes it past the brainstem to the body. Teach a person to change from fear and practice with enough times creating the same feeling of gratitude as automatically as they did with fear. It makes sense then that in a very short amount of time, you can see very significant changes in how the body regulates and how it functions. And the heart then starts to beat in this beautiful coherent state. And so we started looking to see if teaching people how to do that and sustaining it, if it made significant changes. And without a doubt, when we accept, believe, and surrender to the thoughts that are equal to the emotional state of gratitude, that information programs the autonomic nervous system into a different destiny. Yeah. So then teach a person how to be in a state of receivership and gratitude. They can program their brain and body a lot quicker than when they're feeling fear and anger. The moment you get the diagnosis, you notice a change in your internal state. You're changed. Yeah. And when you notice that change in your internal state, the brain freezes a frame and takes a snapshot, and that's called a long-term memory. So the doctor says, you have 6 months to live, you have this condition, this is what happened. And all that information's going in because it's equal to the emotion of fear. And to get the person out of that state, because that's a state of survival and you're losing energy in the body. And in gratitude, you're regenerating energy. So get the person to a state of gratitude gratitude and then teach them how to program their brain and body, then you start seeing changes in their autonomic nervous system. Everybody get that, open their hearts, get in that elevated state and move into a new state of being. And then let's open our eyes. And now let's practice walking with our eyes open as that person. No different than rehearsing for a play or rehearsing and becoming that person. And if you do it enough times and a person understands, how would I walk if I could heal my body in an hour? Who am I going to leave behind here and who am I going to walk as? And a lot of people just hit it. And when they do, you see dramatic changes in their health because they're actually embodying the energy of their future. So we practice sitting, we practice standing and walking, we practice laying down. We practice it all ways because we want the person to become that very person in 1 week. And if they do, our research shows there's dramatic biological markers that change, not small amounts.
When a person feels gratitude, what happens to their heart? The heart gets regulated. It starts beating more coherently. It starts increasing energy to the brain. It starts creating an ambient field around the body. This is when your heart starts working for you. That when a person starts feeling gratitude, then the emotional signature in the body is that something's happening to them, or something's just happened to them. So nervous system into a different destiny. So just in 4 days, we found that when people 10 minutes a day for 4 days traded anger, frustration, fear, all those limited emotions for gratitude, that their immune system improved by 50%. They made immunoglobulins that made their body stronger. Now that's, if a pharmaceutical company had a drug that could strengthen immunoglobulin A in your body, it would be on every television commercial during the news. And yet your body, your nervous system's the greatest pharmacist there is. So then your body is objective. It's your unconscious mind. It doesn't know the difference between a real life experience that creates an emotion and the emotion that you're creating by thought alone. So if your body is feeling gratitude, it's believing that something's happening to you. So in the beginning you go, well, I'm going to try gratitude. And then you think, well, this feels really weird. Why would I give gratitude until it happens? Well, because you've been hypnotized, been programmed that way. But what if you change it around? The moment you feel gratitude, your healing begins. The moment you feel grateful for your life is going to change. Now you're causing an effect. We have to embrace the emotion before it happens. Now, why? Well, let's just say you just did a great meditation and your heart is blown wide open and you feel grateful for life. Or you're connected to the emotions of your new career, your new job, your new life. If you're feeling the feeling that your new life has already happened, you wouldn't be looking for it any longer. You would be feeling like it's already happened, so you wouldn't look and be separate from it. You would feel connected to it. And then if you lost it and you started feeling angry because of traffic, I'd say, oh my God, you're back to the unconscious program again of allowing something outside of you to control your feelings and thought. You're back to that victimization program. So then when you start playing this game and you catch yourself correct and you get back into gratitude and feeling it, then your body is no longer preoccupied with when it's going to happen or where it's going to happen. If you feel it, it feels like it's already happened. So
people to understand how to strengthen their immune system by giving it the right information, the right emotions, and just like we said, coax the body into beginning to release chemistry that begins to strengthen our T cells and our lymphocytes. So one is called empowering the power within, and the other one is called falling into love with your body. So, and both of those, laying down meditation before you go to bed, and the other one is a seated meditation that you could do anytime, and people have really enjoyed them. And there's the science, of course, behind activating that fourth center and the thymus gland, and the thymus that begins to activate T cells and antibodies. Put it all together and try it out.